Number one, this is officer level consultation. And consultation in any democracy is very good. As the technology changes, there is a need of consideration. How does the technology help or make create problem in the democracy? We have seen use of social media to create hate, also to create humors and rumors. So what the government is doing is asking their officers to talk to the service providers. There is no minister involved in this. So this is not a government's current initiative, but it's a consultative process whereby you understand what can be done. A. Two, in your own channel, I had heard a couple of months back when there was some mob lynching, where your own anchors had asked us, why not create traceability? I think that can be one of the technological solution which can be provided so that we can arrest rumor mongering, hate mongering, and anti-social elements which can be done. Also, let me also remind you, while we talk about privacy, please tell me, if I would like to put a case to you, if there is a kidnap which happens in your area right now, and the law enforcement agencies would like to know who were the people around that area, what do they do? How do they come to know that this particular phone was the culprit? They have to listen in conversation. So there are certain practical things which we have to understand. It is very fashionable to talk about privacy versus law enforcement agencies. But we will have to understand, if there is a law and order situation where technology has come, there has to be a consultation. And I would like to applaud and congratulate the people that they have done this consultation, and also like to thank all the social media platforms who have come up. They have given suggestions. Let the process be over. Once the process is over, a final draft can be prepared, given to the ministers. The minister in turn can put to the cabinet, then to the house, and it can come up. But I think at this stage where the consultation is over, it will be incorrect for a responsible channel like you to say that government wants to read your emails and messages. That will be a little too much, like in Adhar. And finally, what we saw in Adhar, the Supreme Court giving a judgment, which was not as per many channels, which was it. So my suggestion to you and to everybody who's talking about right now is, yes, there is a consultation which is going on, which is very good, which was never seen in 7 decades. Here the consultation is there. If you have suggestions, do share your views. Justice Sri Krishna also is looking into the privacy part. That we have seen many consultations happening, and this will help us in the democratic process. Let us identify who are these hate mongers. Let us fix responsibility. And somebody before me spoke about having a KYC. That will be the good thing. Let us have KYC for every Facebook, Twitter, and other accounts. That will fix responsibility. You cannot have a hit and run case where somebody comes, puts a message, creates a creative, and creates hate between two community, two religion, or creates instability in the entire society. And also, if we have a traceability, which need not be shared with the law enforcement agencies in the regular course, but if there is a case which is filed under Indian laws, what is wrong if the platform has been asked to give the traceability and we identify who started that particular message? How do you solve crimes otherwise? If you don't allow the LEAs to function with the scientific and the other available solutions, then I think we are calling for problems. So once again, to summarize it, it's a consultative process, very nicely done, which was never done in this country before. Two, I would also like to thank all the social media platforms which have come forward. And I will also request channels not to create irresponsible statements like government wants to see in your email. Why would the government be interested in somebody who's a law-abiding citizen? But yes, if you're dealing in something which is threatful, narcotics, trying to create hate, I think the LEA has all the rights to peep in and see and make sure your book, you are being given justice. This particular word is incorrect. Secret, a closed door. If it was secret and closed door, how would you know it? The whole idea, media knows it, is that it was called upon. There are proper notices been given.
We have our
now,
sources.
All 125 crore people cannot be called, so they have called for the service providers right now. Do you want to say that your sources can break through the secret doors of the government? Then it will be too much, I think. Let me come back and tell you very responsibly. Justice Sri Krishna has asked for public consultancies, and hundreds of suggestions were given. I myself have given an amendment as a suggestion to him, and I'm thankful to him that he is considering everything. That's how the draft has changed. And one of your editors attended one of the meetings which was organized by me in Delhi. Ms. Faye D'Souza attended one of the meetings where I had consultation, and she spoke what she had in her mind. So I think that was one. Number two, these kind of meetings are done by invitation. Yes, also public can give suggestion. Any citizen of this country can send a suggestion to the parliament, to the PM, or to the minister anytime, on any subject, irrespective whether it has been called for or not. And I'm sure people, they're sitting there, whoever party is in power, they listen. That's how you have seen many amendments in the constitution also. You have been very responsible country by till now. Barring the 2.5 years of emergency, we have been very mature democracy. There are laws, and we have seen in past, not only in India but any other country also, laws were abused by law enforcement agencies or maybe powerful people. But these are exceptions. These exceptions don't mean that laws cannot be made and they are not implemented. There may be one or two elements in the entire system who may be a black sheep. But more or less, I think we are a very, very responsible democracy. So just because one or two guys may do that, but there are checks and balances. If somebody does it, we also have seen how the law can take them. If somebody tries to break that bridge, there are procedures and checks and balances which would arrest them. Now, the sentence which you made is half correct. Yes, 3,000 arrests were done post the 66A was done, but you also have to specify the year they were done. So they were done in the UPA era, and I would not have an answer to that. In this country, if police or any law enforcement agency, if there is any person who has been illegally been arrested or been questioned by an LEA, we have court of law, and we have seen people go to court of law and protest against not only police but income tax, EDs and everybody. And court of law has given us a lot of relief. If there is somebody who has been penalized, who has been victimized, I'm sure there are courts, and courts don't belong to any political party or any government. I see more or less the courts are very, very responsible in this country. A. But having said so,
All right.
even if
Okay.
there were cases where laws were flaunted, do you want no consultation to be done? If there is a consultation being done by the officers, I would say we all should come together and congratulate them that they have taken the first step. Do you wait for a disaster? Then only take an action. So I think they were very, very responsible people who do this meeting. Yes. And who would they call? They would call only the people who are service providers. Whenever these kind of laws are made, there are checks and balances. And this is not a law been made, or there is no draft which has come out. This is a consultation been done by the officers. And let us understand the distinction of this. Once this consultation is done, then they give it to the people who make a draft bill. After the draft bill is done, then it goes to the cabinet to be discussion. Then it goes to a team which discusses it further, and then finally goes to the parliament before it becomes a law. It's not that their officers have done a consultation and tomorrow it will become a law. A. B. There are enough checks and balances, and those who would be interested, how many cases were filed in 2014. The parliament was informed 4037 cases were filed under section 66A. And let me also correct the previous speaker. Sir, these sections are implemented by police station, not by the central government. Police stations come under the state government, which informs the NCRB about this data. So, please do not create any kind of wrong impression. You are actually harming the entire fabric of the society by creating unnecessary panic.